Grumble and Growl on Oria TV. Welcome back to Grumble and Growl. I'm Gail Tosh, your host, as we examine issues from the local to the global perspective so that you can make better choices. Today, folks, we have a very interesting show about cultural differences. My friend Marwa Al-Quraishi is here, and she's going to talk to us about the hijab, which is the covering that she wears over her head. Thanks for being on the show today.
Of course, thanks for having me, Gail.
Okay, I'm really excited today. So tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us about your life right now.
So my name is Marwa Al-Quraishi. I am from Iraq originally. I work with refugees in the resettlement world. I welcome refugees to their new communities and assist them in the first 90 days of their life here in the U.S.
So these refugees, do they all come from the same country?
No, of course not. So they come from all over the world.
Wow, it sounds like you work with people from a lot of cultural and religious backgrounds.
Correct.
So what is that like?
It's very interesting. I am from I come from different background from everyone here. So it's very interesting to work with them and to learn even more about other cultures and beliefs.
That's very open-minded. Thank you. We need more people like you in the world.
Thank you.
Okay, so does this work excite you or does it challenge you?
It is very exciting. There could be some challenges, but this is due to culture difference, and it's a learning experience with every family that we receive. So I'm always optimistic that it's definitely a learning curve for everyone that works in this field.
I can imagine. Yeah. That's awesome. And we need people. We need people who are doing this kind of work. So I think it's important that we broaden our horizons and we work and we build community with people with different backgrounds.
Yes.
We agree too. Okay, so you and I come from different backgrounds, and that's one of the reasons why I was so excited to have you on the show today.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get down to business. You and I have talked a little bit already, but can you tell us about this head covering? What's it called, and why do you wear it?
Yes, so my head covering is called hijab, and it is women from the Islamic faith are required to wear this headscarf. Once they become an adult, they are required to wear it, and it just represents modesty, represents our traditions, our faith, and how we represent ourselves as Muslim women.
So this would be more of a religious choice and not a cultural choice, or is it both?
Correct. So it is a religious choice more than a culture. However, you will see it more. You'll see it more differently by different cultures. So I am, as a Muslim woman, I am from Iraq. I may wear it this way, but you'll see people from other part of the world. They may cover their hair in a different way. Mm-hmm. So it could be covering with maybe a different cloth material, or the way they wrap their head is different from me. And some cultures, they do show a little bit part of their hair, some cultures don't. So, but it is religious purpose that we wear it, and then it is presented differently in different cultures.
Okay. How old were you? So you said you were an adult. At what age were you?
Well, it is required by once the woman become an adult, or at a place where she is knowledgeable enough to learn about the purposes behind it. I personally wore it when I started for fourth grade.
Wow.
Yes, I was at a very young age. I had friends that wore it, and I was very impressed by the way they looked and how it looked on them. And then I started searching the meaning of it. And I really liked it, and I decided to put it on, and I haven't took it off since.
Oh, well, here is a positive example of peer pressure, then, I would say. So, can you ever stop wearing it?
So technically no, because if you chose to wear it for a reason that you believed in, so no. But there are people who choose to wear it and then decide that they're no longer feeling comfortable, or they have receiving a negative feedback, or they had a negative experience, and so they decide to take it off. So I have friends that wore it and took it off after due to different experiences they had.
Okay, that was going to be one of my next questions. How do you feel like people here react to your choice to wear it?
Yeah. So I first arrived to the U.S. in 2009. So, of course, there was refugees from the Islamic faith, maybe not as many as today. And I've seen in my high school, there was only my twin sister and I that had the headscarf, and maybe like one or two other students.
You have a twin sister?
I do.
That's
I
awesome.
do. So, thank you. So it was maybe about like 3 or 4 of us in high school that we had it. So at first, when we first arrived to the U.S. in 2009, I felt like there weren't many of us that had it on, and maybe people had like a very weird like reaction to it. Oh, you were wearing this. Oh, that first when I started on my first date, I thought of it as a hat, and we're not supposed to wear a hat in high school, especially like once you get to the bell rang and we went to class. They asked me if I can remove it, and I said no. This is not a hat. This is more of like my religion. So this is my headscarf. And they were like, oh, okay, so you can't remove it. I said no. And then slowly they started to understand that this is something that represents me. This is like my crown. Like, you know, so like they started to understand more and more. But at first, yes, the reaction was a little off. I would say.
Well, now that you say that for you it's your crown,
Yes.
that's one of, what do you think is most misunderstood?
I think people may think that I am forced to wear it. That's a big part that they would always think of it in a negative way. Oh, she's forced to wear it by her family members or by her adult cousins, or those are the reactions I got when I first arrived. Or that it's her religion that is required her to wear it and to cover up. She doesn't have a choice. So
let's talk about this, that maybe people think you were forced to wear it, because I have to say before our conversation so deeply that when I look at people from other cultures who wear this, because it's not just Islam who I have seen, not just Muslims who I've seen wear this, I always think oppression. And then, I saw a cartoon, and it was about how the Muslim woman was covered from head to toe, and then there was a Barbie doll with, everything hanging out and her eyes were covered, and they're both saying, oh, how oppressive to each society. So,
correct, yes.
So it's not oppression to you.
No, to me, I think of it as something that represents my religion. I think of it as modest, something modest that can keep me, I'll say, protected in some way from like the outside world,
Sure.
from the lust of the outside world. So
Here in America, we know all about that.
So I really have positive impression of the head covering, the hijab. I don't think of it as oppression, and I don't think I wasn't even forced or asked to wear it. I was the one who chose to wear it, and I've asked my parents that I think I wanted to take on this step and wear it. They even at first they were very surprised. They're like, "Oh, you're still young. You want to wear it?" I was like, "Yes, my friends wore it," and I started looking it up, and I really like it. I think I want to put it on. So at first my parents were surprised that I'm gonna wear it. They thought, "Oh, she's gonna take it off after a day or two." And she's not used to it, but I really, like I said, I really think of it as my crown. So how can I walk outside without a crown?
Right.
It feels off.
Well, that's fantastic, and it's good for me and for others to know how you interpret it, because our interpretation, being an outsider, is not always what's going on.
That's correct.
So if you had a daughter, would it be expected that she wear a hijab?
I would say first I will let her do her research and do her knowledge and learn about the true meaning behind it. I wouldn't force her to wear it, but I will definitely give her the space and the knowledge to acquire and learn about it.
You're going to be such an
then
open-minded.
she will choose if she wants to cover up or not, because at the end of the day I may force her to wear it, but she can always take it off whenever I'm not around. So if she wants to put it on, I would want her to put it on with the right beliefs. Yes, in her mind.
Awesome. Okay. Are there any rules about the way men dress in your culture?
Of course. So the women have to be modest. So men have to be modest as well. So they have to be, I wouldn't say fully covered up, but like like they wouldn't be showing like lots of skin, lots of like shirts off all the time, or like very very short shorts, or just like how women are expected to be modest, there are certain rules for men as well.
I do remember when I had a job doing deliveries to some refugees. I delivered and I needed some help, and the men didn't want to come outside because it was hot and they had shorts on inside, and I couldn't figure out, but that must be because they weren't allowed to come out with shorts on.
So maybe not like, maybe they had short shorts, or like shorts, yes, they are allowed, but depend on like was it like very tight, or like because we have to keep our like assets covered. Yes.
Keep your assets covered, all right? You hear me? I mean, I think we can all get some benefit from that. All right. Is there anything else you want our viewers to know or to do after hearing your story?
I would want them to know that many of us are not forced or oppressed in any certain way. We choose to wear it, especially in those days that I believe more young girls are interested in learning about our heads covering. The Muslim girls, of course, that I'm talking about, I would say 99% of the time we are not forced, it's by choice. I don't think that they find this as like that's true, but we are really not forced. We're not forced, especially I would say in the Middle Eastern countries. We choose to put it on. We are happy when we put it on because we know the true representation of it, and we love to represent our religion and in a modest way. And our head covering is the modest way of us to represent. Please be kind to us.
Be kind to everybody, but yes, be kind.
Please be kind. We are happy to always talk to you if you don't know about it. We would love for you to hear us. If you're interested in knowing more about it, please have a conversation with us. And yeah.
Oh, Marwa, thank you so much for coming on the show today. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed this. So listen, protect your assets and keep your minds open, all right? Bye for now.